Shufaay College, Relive from Africa. Never for America. Teacher Flex Pro. You get the star, dynamic veteran. For me say,
My mother, Randy Russell, is on the board. I am the junior member for World Affairs Council, and I'd like to bring up Armin.
How's everybody doing? I know it's not Fiesta, but Viva San Antonio! Viva CAMCOSA! I have to admit, I got that from our former mayor now, Nuremberg, who did that and got raving applause. So I thought I'm going to use that when I do that. So every time I have silence. I'm just to say Viva CAMCOSA. So, how's everyone doing? What a great performance. These are they're known as the GRA kids from CAMCOSA. Yes, please, another round of applause. I've had the pleasure of seeing them at their Christmas gala and some other events, and they're remarkable young kids who want to keep their tradition and also share their culture with the rest of us. So thank you, Ruth, for coordinating that and to the kids. Appreciate that. My name is Armin Babajanian. I'm the CEO of the World Affairs Council. I welcome you to our somewhat different program that it involves not only policy, politics, culture, and education, but other matters that involve the local Cameroonian community. JJ's part of a new membership that we have for kids who are 18 and younger called our junior membership. So if you're interested in that, please see us. There are QR codes floating around. So please make sure to check that junior membership out. And I think he's been to almost every event that we've had. So, and he's not on his phone, he's actually listening. So I really appreciate you, JJ. Yes. I'm going to try to make my remarks short, but I do want to point out a few individuals who are here and also welcome you and thank some people, and then jump right into the discussion because that's what we're here for. Of course, I want to thank CAMCOSA and everyone, but before I get into CAMCOSA members, I do want to thank everything that has been put together as my team, Miranda, Clarissa, they were here, but they're floating around. But Clarissa's here, Clarissa and Miranda, and also our interns who are Erilyn, Pablo, and Mary Grace, who are running around and doing stuff and checking people in. So we really appreciate all of them for helping us out. And if you could please thank them. Oh, yes, thank you. We couldn't do any of this without our board members. Of course, you already got the heads up that Brandy Russell is on our board. So we have Brandy Russell from CPS Energy. We have Sho Nakpodia with Dream Week, Dream Voice. Yes. I won't bring up the soccer game that happened at the picnic because or rather I should because Cameroon won. So, and then we have Sherry Dolat Shahi with the City of San Antonio's Global Engagement Office, who's also on our board. And we also have our chair of the board from HEB, Hugo Lizaraga. So please help me. Couldn't do any of this without my team and the board, so thank you. I also want to thank Alamo Colleges for allowing us. Everyone's working. You don't see them. We have Latanya. We have all these people just working around the room to make sure this is a great event. So please thank them for hosting us. And restrooms, a few notes, out the doors to the right and down the hall to the left. So down in that corner over there if you need to use the restrooms. How about that food? Huh? Thank you for those who prepared it. I am looking forward to having some more of those little fried little ball things that were so phenomenal. So thank you for that. And there's also August 9th. There's going to be a cultural festival at the fire station, at the Firefighter Union on I-10. It's their annual cultural festival on August 9th. So keep a lookout for that when it will be here in a few months here. I also want to thank Hung Tao Jin and Helen. They're floating around. They're videoing this program. Hung Tao works at USA, but he manages to also come to all of our events with his wife to take video and pictures. Thank you, Hung Tao and Helen. You will meet our guests here very soon. I do want to thank each of them personally, Dr. Tao, Dr. Tala, Dr. Abongwa, Dr. Adimo, Mr. Chongwayne, and of course, our moderator, who is Emmanuel Galabi, who's going to do a great job to make sure that everyone's on time and we're not here a very long time, so he'll keep everyone in order and timely manner, so I appreciate him. And he's also a great barbecuer. I saw him grilling at the Cameroon Festival, so he was really good. But none of this would have happened without my friend Donatus, who I first met through Sherry's office just about a little over a year ago. The passion and enthusiasm, as you have seen from the Cameroonian community, is so contagious, is so passionate. It's hard not to be in this room and not clap or smile or laugh. And that's not only today, that's him and the Cameroonian community that I dealt with every time I talk to them. It's hard to be sad when you're around them. So I really appreciate that. And before I bring up Donatus to introduce our speaker, I do want to thank Dr. Chris Fomonio, who is our special guest. I met him at our national conference, at the World Affairs Council conference in DC. And he lives there, and he's got a very impressive resume. I think there's a picture with him with President Zelensky that's floating around in the background. He's done some amazing things around the world. Can't wait to not only hear from you, but also stay in touch with you. And I really appreciate you for being here and being in San Antonio for the very first time. So thank you so much. All right, let's see where we go. Okay, so we have a lost large gold flower shaped earring, if you find it.
We found it.
All right. And that wasn't mine. So without further ado, I want to bring up the leader of CAMCOSA, the Cameroonian Association of San Antonio, its fearless leader, my good friend, Donatus. Please come up.
CAMCOSA. 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 Distinguished invitees, dear board members of the World Affairs Council in San Antonio, fellow community partners, fellow community leaders, both within and out of the Cameroonian community in San Antonio. It is my distinguished pleasure to stand here before you today to welcome you on behalf of my beautiful Cameroonian community for this event. Special thank you to you, my good friend Amen, for doing this. You have opened the gate of the world to my community, CAMCOSA. For that, the Cameroonian community shall forever remain indebted not just to you, but to the World Affairs Council of San Antonio. It is a partnership that has come to stay. There is no turning back. It's going to be a win-win. We're going to be there for you just as you have been for us. We thank you. I want to sincerely thank your team that has coordinated all of this, Miranda, and everybody on the team for making all of this happen. So, let me take all of you on a voyage. I want to take you people on a voyage to Cameroon, the country where the beautiful men and women come from. And I will start by giving a synopsis of what Cameroon is. You will see it in this wall and you will feel like you are in Cameroon. So, history. Cameroon was annexed by Germany in 1884. Immediately after the First World War, when Germany was defeated in the First World War, Cameroon was partitioned between Britain and France. The reason why Cameroon today is a bilingual country. Go to Cameroon, there are two official languages in Cameroon, French and English. Cameroon is situated between the central and western part of Africa, with a population of 30 million, or 30.9 million people as of today. Cameroon is bijurate. I think of the fact that Cameroon was colonized by Britain and France. So you have the civil law and the common law that go side by side in Cameroon, with the civil law applied in the French-speaking part of Cameroon and the common law in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. The French-speaking part of Cameroon got their independence from France in 1960, and 1 year after, the southern Cameroon, which was under the British rule, got their independence. That was in 1961 from Britain. First ever president of the Republic of Cameroon was President Amadou Ahidjo. And when President Amadou Ahidjo passed on, President Paul Biya took over in 1982. And as we speak today, 42 years after, he is still president of that country, probably the longest serving president in the world. So that is one thing that is peculiar about Cameroon. When we talk about culture, Cameroon is a multicultural country. We have about 250 local languages, which means that we have about 250 tribes in Cameroon, because each tribe has their own language. So you go to Cameroon, you're going to have 250 different languages, but the two official languages, English and French. Cameroon is called Africa in miniature. The reason Cameroon is called Africa in miniature is because whatever you can see in any other African country, you go to Cameroon, you're going to see. So Cameroon is like a one-stop shop, where you go there, you see every other thing, from the zoos, the animals, infrastructure, everything, economically, everything. Soccer, Cameroon is known for soccer. I don't know if people know Cameroon about soccer. You know, that was the first African country to ever reach the quarterfinals of the World Cup, football. They call it soccer here. We call it football. So that is how Cameroon is known for soccer. We know people like Samuel Eto'o, Roger Mila. Those are names that you call anywhere in the world. Somebody is going to get up and greet you like a Cameroonian. So that is it about culture. Politics. Cameroon is a multi-party country with about 150 registered political parties. The ruling party that is in Cameroon now, with President Paul Biya as the chairman of that party, is called the CPDM, Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. So that party has been in place for the same 42 years that the president has been in place. So it's a democracy, it's a multi-party state, but yes. So, I mean, if I want to stand here tonight to talk about Cameroon, it's going to take the whole night, but that we cannot do that today. Same voyage that took you to go to Cameroon, I'm going to bring you back now to San Antonio. Back to San Antonio, I feel emotional and sensational at the same time to introduce to you most energetic, the most welcoming, the most pragmatic, and above all, a community that is noted for their legendary hospitality. A community that you have medical doctors, you have legal practitioners, pharmacists, nurses, everybody. Even if you want this world to be clean, there is everybody that you need in this world within that community. A community that I'm so proud to say I am president. That community is no other community than the Cameroonian community of San Antonio. Please, CAMCOSA, this is your time or your day to shine. If you have never been acknowledged, you are going to be acknowledged tonight. If you are a Cameroonian, a CAMCOSA member in this hall, please stand and be acknowledged by these people here tonight. Stand up. So, thank you everyone for acknowledging this beautiful community in San Antonio. When I talk or when I'm proud about the Cameroonian community, it doesn't mean that there are no other communities in San Antonio. There are many communities in San Antonio, but it is said that hard work pays. I met my friend Amen last year during the Around the World Festival. We were invited through our sister Sherry. Sherry, I didn't see you. You're welcome. That was the chief of diplomacy in the city of San Antonio. That's how we got connected. So we received an invitation and they asked for 4, 5 people to come, and I reached out to Ahmed. Ahmed, can we make it to 10? No problem. So finally, we pulled up. Have you people visited the table with the artifacts and those things at the end? Please, if you have not been there after this, just go around, and that is where you see the history of not just Cameroon, but the history of Africa on that table through the artifacts. So when we finally pulled up, and our brother seated there, Jones, displayed all those things, that table became the center of attraction in that event. Everybody was pulling, everybody saw these dresses, everybody was pulling us left and right to get a picture. And at the end of the day, Amen came to me and said, I love the energy. Cameroonian community, your energy is contagious. I'm going to work out something to make sure that it's put Cameroon in the limelight. Thank you, Amen. You are a gentleman, you are man of your words. Let me not hold it for long. I can go on and on and on. But let me tell you people one thing. When I started up here, I said CAMCOSA, and you heard from the background, family number one. Let me tell you guys what family number one means before I leave. Family number one is the CAMCOSA mantra. It simply means, in simple terms, all of us, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your race, your ideology, your social status, we are one family. So seated today in this hall, we are one family. Whether you're white, black, whatever, we are one family. We have one creator that we all look up to. So when we say family number one, it means that we are one family. We can have our differences in ideology and other things just like people do, but at the end of the day, what matters is that we come around to reconcile the differences and live like a family. So right now, since I've given heads up about the meaning of family number one, I'm going to end it by saying family number one, and I expect everybody in this world now by saying CAMCOSA, and I expect everybody now knowing what family number one means, not just CAMCOSA members, to respond family number one. CAMCOSA. Family number one. CAMCOSA. Family number one. CAMCOSA. Family number one. All right. That is it from the president of CAMCOSA. So right now, without much ado, I'm going to proceed to introduce our guest, a senior brother, a soft-spoken, an eloquent, dynamic individual, level-headed, a man of few words. This is somebody that if I were to give my brother Edimo, Dr. Edimo, the opportunity to introduce here, he will call him a juggernaut in the field of election monitoring. That is somebody who is outspoken, who can say it as he sees it. We are privileged to have you today here, Dr. Chris Formally. Thank you for accepting the invitation. You are an icon. We've read about you in books, even though you are not from Cameroon, because we see you right up there. We didn't know that one day we were going to share the same room with you. Amen. I don't know how you got him, but again, I want to thank you. So, Dr. Chris is going to come up here, and Dr. Chris is a representation of who Cameroonians are. Like I said, doctors, lawyers, everything, this is one. Dr. Chris is going to be soft, gentle, but the message is going to go down the spine. Thank you. Dr. Chris, please come on.
Well, thank you very much, Donators, for those very kind words of introduction and welcome. It's such an honor and a real privilege to be here with you all this evening. I want to start by really expressing a special word of appreciation, gratitude, and thanks to Amen for the invitation. When Donatus was talking about Amin, I could relate. because when we first met in fall of 2024, I had the privilege of attending the annual convention of the World Affairs Council in America that was held in Washington. And I was on a panel that spoke on the issue of sovereignty. And I'll come back to that later on. But as soon as I got off the stage, Armin ran up to me, he buttonholed me and said, I have a wonderful Cameroonian community in San Antonio. You have to come meet with them. And I said, I will come. When the invitation came, I had no hesitation at all, because I really wanted to meet my people. And I'm so privileged, really honored, that you invited me not just to participate in this event, being co-hosted by the World Affairs Council of San Antonio, but also gave me this wonderful opportunity to meet my own brothers and sisters and my own children who really performed a wonderful cultural display. I'm so grateful, and we all are so grateful to you. I really want to thank your team, Miranda and Clarissa, 3 interns and the volunteers, members of the board, for all your support to Amen and the team, for the work that you all do. If you haven't dealt with international issues and the complexities of international diplomacy, you wouldn't really have an appreciation for what the World Affairs Council of America does. And to know that across this country, there are close to 100 chapters in cities and local communities and municipalities, providing platforms for citizens to engage. It's just remarkable. It's heartwarming. I also want to express a vote of thanks to my brother, Donatus, for your leadership in the community and for what you and the entire executive are doing here in San Antonio. I will come back to that later on. But when Donatus and I met this morning, briefly I said, my brother, how are you doing it? What's the magic? Because I know what has happened to our communities, not just in North America, but across Europe and even back home. We have become fragmented, polarized, argumentative, and have lost our ability to work as one family. And so to come to San Antonio and see the vibrancy, the dynamism in our community is extremely uplifting. Thank you very much. As I said, when we met in fall of 2024, the conversation in Washington really focused on sovereignty. And the reason that topic was chosen was because the world is grappling with issues of sovereignty today. Many of you historians in the room will remember that by the end of the 19th century and into the 20th century and now the 21st century, the concept of sovereignty was the pillar, the rock of the international world order. Today, unfortunately, as you look around the world and you look at the various trouble spots, sovereignty is being taken to task. In some cases by the countries that worked extremely hard to put in place to enshrine that concept as a norm of international behavior, but in other cases by more fragile countries whose leaders are unable to guarantee the well-being of their own citizens, to provide legitimacy to the concept of sovereignty that they claim. For me, or someone like me, it's an issue that I grapple with on a daily basis. Whether it's in Washington working for the National Democratic Institute, a non-profit organization that alongside its sister organization, the International Republican Institute, was set up over 40 years ago to help strengthen and support nascent democracies around the world. Unfortunately, today's discussions have become extremely polarized, and citizens are gradually losing touch with each other. And whether I'm in Washington or in Ukraine, volunteering as a goodwill ambassador to President Zelensky and the people of Ukraine in their efforts, despite being in a war imposed on them by Russia, in their efforts to help other countries and populations around the world that are exposed to famine and the risk of food insecurity. The issue rings in my ears on an hourly basis. Or whether it's in Cameroon, my own home country, which, as Donato said, used to be called Africa in miniature because of its beauty, because of its resources, because of its potential. And the fact that this country sits almost in the heart, in the middle of the continent, and all of the other issues that one needs to grapple with across that continent of ours. Cameroon, at one time, had so much potential that we were one of the few African countries that had three of the largest American banks in Cameroon. There was a time when we had Chase Manhattan in Cameroon, Bank of Boston in Cameroon, Standard Chartered Bank in Cameroon, because we were doing very well and we had so much potential. There was a time when Cameroon and Cameroon Airlines had a fleet of Boeing aircrafts bought brand new from Boeing Commercial in Washington State, Seattle. There was a time when we were known as the first coffee producing country in the world, and we were respected for that. There was a time when we were the second largest producing country for cocoa, and we were respected for that, and our farmers got the benefits. And so I could go through a long list of the things that made Cameroon so unique and so special. It had so much potential, and we were extremely proud of ourselves. But then, fast forward to today. The star is lost, some of its luster. We are a country that is struggling. We're struggling with issues of insecurity in the northern part of the country that shares a border with Nigeria, where our populations are being attacked by violent extremists, jihadist extremists, with the sect Boko Haram. We are fragmented because the minority Anglophone population in Cameroon has a sizable segment that feels so marginalized that some of them want to opt out of the union. We are fragilized by issues of insecurity in neighboring countries such as the Central African Republic that share a common border with Cameroon, and where we have run over criminals crossing the border on a permanent basis and making life extremely difficult for our populations in the eastern part of the country. We've got issues of economic performance and performance on the governance schedule that organizations such as Mo Ibrahim Foundation, Transparency International, Human Rights Watch, and many other watchdog organizations have criticized us for. You look at all of that, and you almost feel a sense of despair. I quickly passed over the fact that we have a president who is 92 years old and who has been in power for 42 years and still wants to run for another 7-year term in a country where the average age, the median age is 19 years, telling how youthful our population is. And you think through this litany and you almost feel depressed. But then you get an invitation to come to San Antonio and you make the mistake of accepting. You come right here and this vibrant community in a split second is giving you everything you could have hoped for. It's giving you a sense that all is not lost. It's giving you a sense that there are professionals in all spheres who represent and carry that flag and hoist it high on a daily basis. You get the sense that they're even inculcating into our own kids the culture that we value so much and that our grandparents feared would be lost if we went overseas. They give you a sense that we can still rebuild and reconcile and rebrand our country. It is so fulfilling to be with all of you today. And it made me think about Alexis de Tocqueville. Those of you who are political scientists or historians would remember the French philosopher Alexis de Tocqueville of the 19th century, who wrote volumes, beautiful volumes, on American democracy. And one of his attributes, or the attributes to his intellectual work, was the recognition of the role that voluntary associations play in sustaining American democracy. And Alexis de Tocqueville said they had three major attributes. One, to provide opportunities for citizen engagement. These kinds of platforms that allow us to get together and rub minds and exchange ideas and learn from each other and reinforce each other and build synergies in what we do. Secondly, that they mediate between individuals or citizens and state institutions, whether it's at the local level, at the state level, or at the federal level. And thirdly, that they mitigate the potential that isolation can bring through excessive individualism. Alexis de Tocqueville will be extremely proud of the partnership that we see here this evening between the World Affairs Council of San Antonio and CAMCOSA, the Cameroonian community in San Antonio. By working hand in hand with each other, you're building trust, you're providing an opportunity for ordinary Americans in your community to become versed in international issues which may look distant from the beginning, but invariably would impact their lives. Because we all are part of one common humanity. I could go on and on because I am extremely overwhelmed with joy. But I just want to tell you that this is my first visit to San Antonio. This is not going to be the last. You can count on my support. I will continue to be with you in spirit. I will continue to participate in your activities. I will continue to look for opportunities to enrich myself with your wisdom and your leadership. And going forward, we shall work hand in hand. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
CAMCOSA. 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 I thought I was done for tonight, but my good friend Amen would let me sit down. He asked me to come back, but this time I'm not coming to make a speech. Next on the agenda is going to be a panel discussion where you're going to see all the fine brains from the Cameroonian community who come up here and display a mastery of the subject matter. We have doctors, we have IT gurus, we have traditional rulers in the panel who double as doctors, working for the military. Just to confirm to you, like I said earlier, that CAMCOSA, Cameroonian Community of San Antonio, is a one-stop shop. Whatever you want, please reach out and we'll connect you in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure, most respectfully, to introduce a friend, a brother, the person who is going to be the moderator of this panel tonight. He is a father, he is an IT guru, he is a community person. We share the same ideology. We want to see the Cameroonian community grow together. Who will stop at nothing to defend the interests of the Cameroonian community wherever he is. He is a God-fearing man. He is a father of two and very caring husband. Anybody who knows him will testify. Talking about no other person here tonight than the president of the Committee of Gentlemen in San Antonio, Mr. Emmanuel Calabe. Mr. Calabe. So, at this point in time, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Galabe, who is going to introduce the rest of the members on the panel. Thank you, Mr. Galabe.
Thank you, President Dangwa. And thank you to the Council of World Affairs in San Antonio for making this possible. CAMCOSA. CAMCOSA. All right. It is an honor to be here today with you all, especially on this day where we are promoting the Cameroonian culture, technology sometimes. All right, good. Sorry. All right, so today a lot has been said about the Cameroonian community, and we really want to thank this platform, the Council of World Affairs, for making this possible. We want to thank the President and his dynamic team for making this possible, and we want to thank every partner for this organization to make this possible. Special appreciation to Dr. Christopher for coming, throwing a lot of light into this event. We really do appreciate it. With us today, we have a lady and a gentleman that are gonna be helping us better understand Cameroon, right? A lot has been said about Cameroon, and this is the time for us to interact, to ask questions, to know more about Cameroon. It looks like hope is lost, but trust me, there are a lot of opportunities in Cameroon. With this interaction, I know a lot of people will get to do business, will get to visit Cameroon, and will get to know more about Cameroon. So I'm gonna start with the first person. He's gonna talk on culture. He's none other than Shufaay Dr. Tah. Dr. Tah is a respected community leader, a technologist. He currently supports the United States Air Force as an AWS cloud engineer. Beyond his professional role, he is deeply involved in community development, serving as the Vice President of San Antonio Veteran Soccer Club, SAVET, and actively running for the President of the Committee of Gentlemen, the organization which I'm the head, with our brother, Gentleman Zila, in the battle. Elections are next month. Let the best win. With a blend of cultural heritage, he serves and he's a cultural leader and a community servant. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shufaay Dr. Tah. Please take a seat. We're going to talk about education. And here, it is, of course, but normal to bring an educational juggernaut in the person of Dr. Pride Abongwa. Dr. Pride Abongwa is an associate professor of geosciences at the Texas A&M University of San Antonio. He has a vast experience in research and student mentoring. His educational training has been through his native country, Cameroon, the Netherlands, Sweden, Canada, and the United States. Dr. Abongwa has trained students from all over the world. He recently received a joint academic grant for over $1 million to work on resilient agriculture. Dr. Abongwa is the president of the San Antonio Veteran Club FC, a group of Cameroonian soccer lovers over the age of 35. He is the current champion of the National Veteran Tournament USA with over 45 participating soccer veteran teams. Please welcome Dr. Pride. Thank you, Doc. All right, we're going to talk about healthcare. Of course, people are eager to know how is the healthcare situation in Cameroon. Definitely, we're bringing somebody who is vested in the healthcare system. We are talking here about Dr. Lizette Tah. Dr. Lizette Tah is a doctor of nursing practice and board-certified family nurse practitioner with over 20 years of nursing experience. With more than a decade in advanced practice, she is the founder and clinical director of Amu Family Clinic in San Antonio, where she provides comprehensive primary care and medical supervised weight management with compassion and excellence. Beyond her clinical accomplishment, Dr. Tah is a proud wife in marriage for nearly 30 years. She is a mother of 3 and a grandmother to a beautiful 8-year-old daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Lizette Tah. Thank you. All right. Of course, the technological landscape in Cameroon, how does it look like? Here we're going to bring a gentleman, an IT guru, in the person of Brian Chongwan. Brian Chongwan is an accomplished IT consultant, a certified database administrator, and founder of Join IT Solutions. Originally from Com in Cameroon, Brian has spent over a decade using technology to empower Cameroonians both in the US and back at home. His work bridges digital transformation, education, and community impact. Today, he'll be sharing insights on how IT is shaping the future of Cameroon and its diaspora in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CEO Brian Chongwan. Thank you. Welcome. All right. Thank you. Of course, we're going to talk about economic and trade. Here, we're going to talk about somebody who is vested in the economy and business. We are talking about Dr. Heinrich Edna Edimo. Dr. Heinrich Edimo is a seasoned management consultant with Tiger Analytics, where he leads high-impact projects across strategy, analytics, and digital transformation. He is also the founder and CEO of WorldSmart, a financial literacy and empowerment platform committed to helping individuals and families build generational wealth. Beyond his professional achievement, Dr. Edimo is a proud father of 2, ages 12 and 8, and deeply passionate about creating a legacy of knowledge, resilience, and financial freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Heinrich Edimo. Thank you. Time being a factor of production, as economists would put it, we're definitely going to dive straight into our presentation. I'm going to start with culture, and please, to our audience, you have the option taking down questions, right? We're going to go in this format. I'm going to ask the question across the panelists, and please, whichever question you have for whichever panelist, please put it down, and at the end of the session, we're going to take your questions, and you can direct them to the various panelists. All right, so we're going to start with culture, and I'm going to start with Dr. Tah. My first question is going to be, Doctor, how would you describe the unique cultural identity of Cameroon, and how is it reflected in the community here in San Antonio? Dr. Tah.
Right. Mic check, can you all hear me? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so before I start, I would really want to just share a story with you all. Growing up in Cameroon, I have heard about Dr. Chris. We are the same tribe, we speak the same dialect, but again, thanks to the World Affairs Council here in San Antonio, since I was born half a century on planet Earth, this is my first time to meet him in person, and he is a legend, a hero. So I really want to appreciate the organizers of this event for giving me that opportunity to look at someone eyeball to eyeball, someone I've only heard about and read in books. So Dr. Chris, thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate it. I just want to also thank CAMCOSA, and I think I will thank the moderator here for that awesome introduction. My name is Tah. I've been in the United States now for close to 18 years or more. Part of that, I served as a combat medic in the United States Navy, a couple of deployments overseas to support and defend the Constitution of this great nation. I think that since I came here, San Antonio, or the United States generally, has made me be who I am today. Now, to fall back on the question that the moderator asked, what will I say about the culture of Cameroon, and how does that influence our interaction here in the city of San Antonio? I think you already heard from the president of CAMCOSA. Cameroon is very rich culturally and so diverse. You heard already we have over 250 tribes and languages. This is what makes or gives Cameroon that name, a miniature in Africa. And what does that mean? Every part of Africa, you can find it in Cameroon. In recent years, a new name has popped on social media and trending. They call Cameroon Le Continent, which means the continent. And this is Africa, a continent, and Cameroon is a continent in the continent of Africa. Again, this is just to support the fact that we are so diverse culturally, and we are so diverse with traditions, and we have very, very different languages that we speak. So I would say that, one key example of this richness is found here, is mostly common in the grass fields of Cameroon, right? Where I am originally from, I will call myself a hybrid in the grass fields of Cameroon. Why do I say a hybrid? In the sense that my parents are from different ethnic groups. So my mom is from the Solan, and my dad is from the Meta tribe. That makes me be a hybrid. I speak both languages in addition to the two languages that we have officially in Cameroon, English and French. I want to add that in traditions or in our culture, leadership, family, is what is key to us. Respect to elders is what is key. These are some of the values that were instilled in us from birth. Growing up, the respect for family, a community, raising a child. It takes a village to raise a child, will ever be the adage you will hear on the street. And that's exactly the same thing I would say, even though we are far from home, here in San Antonio, that culture is still amongst us. We interact together, we raise kids together, come to occasions, you see someone sitting for others, not being paid, but just because that's part of the culture, that's what we are. Today you all saw the beautiful display from our children That is what we do as Cameroonians. We are far away from home, but our culture is our identity. We never give up on that. And though we are here in San Antonio, we try to instill these core values of our culture, respect for elders, even to our children that are here in San Antonio. So with that said, I would say some of the things that you identify that displays our culture. I will start by the food that you all tasted out there. A variety of food. That's just who we are as Cameroonians. You look at our traditional regalia that we're currently having on. They are so diverse. And they're diverse because they represent the different regions of Cameroon. Remember, we said Cameroon has over 250 tribes and 250 customs and traditions and different cultural ways of doing things. If you look at all what we're putting on, particularly what I have here, Togo, it is basically common in the northwest regions of Cameroon. You look at others, they're having a long tight on theirs in the Sour region. And I mean, I would just say that the culture is our identity, and if you look amongst us, you can identify who we are. One thing I want to add, I know time is of essence, is that one good thing with Cameroon as well is that our family names. Remember, we talked about family as a core value, that lineage, family lineage. Our family names, if I should state my name, I met Dr. Chris for the first time, and as soon as I introduced myself, he spoke the dialect to me. Why? Because just my last name tells him what region I'm from, and he can be able to identify who I am. So it's the same thing across in Cameroon. From your last name, I can tell you what region you're coming from in Cameroon, which is something really, really unique in Cameroon. With that, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Dr. Tah. I'm gonna have you take 1 minute on this question. 1 minute on this question. In what ways do cultural tradition influence the daily life of Cameroonians, both at home and abroad?
Well, I think I kind of expatiated on this for a little bit. Respect for elders, respect and sticking to our cultural identity. I would say that back at home growing up, these values, these core values got instilled in us. And as kids then, we are now parents. And we moved out of Cameroon. We are here in San Antonio. What are we doing that is not preserving our culture? We are away from home, but we are here not only to adapt, but also to preserve our culture, to preserve our identity, where we're coming from. Now, we saw the kids display here. That is not all about what we do away from home. If you've mingled with our community, I think they talked about the annual cultural event that we have. It is wonderful, colorful, great. If you can pull up there, you will enjoy it. It doesn't really end there. We also will stick together as a community in times of birth, baby showers, in times of death. If someone is bereaved, we pull up together as a community to support them here in San Antonio. If it's a family member back at home having issues or facing some difficulties, and that comes to our attention, as a community, we come together to always support. And that's just who we are. You know, the president of CAMCOSA says family number one. We do that not only back in Cameroon, but even here in San Antonio, we do that as well. Mr. Moderator, I just want to end with one adage here that says, a tree does not forget the roots that gave it life. And what does that mean? We might be far away from home, but we will never forget our roots. We will keep maintaining our identity and keep doing what our parents or our ancestors they did to keep us together as a family. Thank you all.
Thank you for that. We're gonna go on to education, and we're gonna meet Dr. Pride Abongwa. Dr. Pride Abongwa, how does education in Cameroon prepare young people for the opportunities and challenges of the modern world?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for that question. I sit here tonight as a testament of hard work. I sit here tonight as a testament of resilience. I sit here tonight figuratively as a product of parents that believe in education. The educational system in Cameroon is robust. The educational system in Cameroon exposes you to the world. I was in Cameroon and I learned about, I think it was something in geography in Tennessee. Okay, so before I came here, I already know much about that. I learned about fishing in Norway. So it kind of prepared me in one way or the other. In Cameroon, you are actually prepared in a way that once you actually leave that particular niche and you travel overseas to study, you are well grounded. And I think that that goes because specifically for us in the English-speaking part, we are modeled after the Anglo-Saxon system, where you spend a few years in secondary school and high school, you spend about 2 years in the university, and you do an elaborate amount of studies. In STEM education, you are very well prepared, where you are grounded in maths, in physics, and in the English language. And I think that has actually prepared me in a way that has brought me to this point where I am today. And I think that if you look across the board, everyone sitting here, doctors, CEOs, okay, they have done extremely well, and that is because of how prepared they were back home. So I think the educational system in Cameroon is robust, it is strong, and it actually prepares you to be highly successful.
All right, thank you, Doctor. One question. When do Cameroonians in their system of education specialize?
You actually specialize in high school. So in high school, after the first, we spend 7 years in elementary education. Then you go to what is known as secondary school, where you spend 5 years. Then in the last 2 years in high school, you can decide to become a science student or actually an art student. And those are the formative years where you can actually decide to branch to become a scientist or somebody that does art or say, for example, engineering.
Thank you. So that means that all through your journey, you do everything.
Yes.
Except in high school, that you specialize on what you want to become.
That's very correct.
And that gives us the uniqueness so we can blend in any field when we get here, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So what roles do Cameroonians in San Antonio play in supporting educational initiatives in their home country, Cameroon?
I think that let me just begin with the umbrella community of Cameroon, which is the CAMCOSA. Every year during the cultural night as well as Christmas, there's actually a particular team which is designed to prepare our students, our kids, as they actually go back to school. That might look small, but in a huge way, it's actually telling the student that we as parents, we are highly interested in their educational activity. Recently, the Cameroonian community actually teamed with the Alamo Colleges to actually see how we can serve as a conduit of bringing Cameroonians back home to actually study here. I, for one, in particular, I have actually done in my own small way to provide habitat for students coming from Africa, Cameroonians, Nigerians, Ghanaians, that they have done, and I think that there's actually a host of others here that have actually done. So the community is actually open, and we are very, very highly welcoming to everyone that's actually coming here to study.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Any scholarship schemes to promote education?
Yes, I think that within our system here, I think some of us, people sitting on this table, they are actually owners of businesses, and they have given out scholarships for students that want to study. So that's something which is actually, I feel that the community is doing extremely well. And again, I really want to congratulate you guys for actually taking up on that.
All right, thank you, Dr. Pride Abongwa. Healthcare, Dr. Lizette Tah. Doctor, what are some of the major healthcare challenges facing Cameroon today?
so much for that question. It is a very loaded question, so to make it a little bit easier, I try to break it down, and I'll just give a little summary. My goal is, to highlight the issues that we have, but at the end of the day, I want to express the opportunities that are there for improvement, so that to see what we can do. So to understand the problems, I break it down into three, like access to healthcare. That is a major issue in Cameroon, major issue. In an area, I don't even know how to estimate it. There will be one healthcare there that people have to travel for hours upon hours. Sometimes they don't even have a car, transportation to get there, but they'll travel hours upon hours to go there, just to get there to be able to have care. But here we have that access. You can even call 911, you can just drive to so many, you have options. But back at home, we do not have that. So having an access to go to a healthcare facility is really a big challenge. And then the next thing is, when you get there, you struggle and you get there, it is difficult, very difficult for you to be diagnosed. Because if a healthcare professional doesn't diagnose you, they cannot treat you. But because they do not have a lot of resources to provide that diagnosis, a lot of people, even though they make it to the hospital, they still don't make it alive because they do not get proper care. Example, somebody gets up and goes to the hospital, the first thing they give you solution, IV solution, and there is full of sugar. They don't know if you have diabetes, they don't know what the heck is going on. They start treating you for malaria, whether you have malaria or not. So if you do not diagnose, you cannot treat. And this is not because of the healthcare providers, no. It's because they don't have the resources to actually give them a good diagnosis to treat them. And then when they start treating you, they don't even have IVs, they don't have it. I remember my uncle was back at home. Recently he had an accident, he had a rib fracture, and he needed to use an incentive spirometer. Incentive spirometer is anybody that has been to the hospital, that has had surgery, all of us, they are running around everywhere in the hospital. But he had to wait for them to take one and you inhale it. So it's something that is personal, it goes into your mouth. But there in that hospital, they had one for everybody. He had to wait for somebody to go get it, for somebody to finish, so they'll wash it and give it to him. So those are like, it's hard to say it, but honestly, that is the truth about healthcare back at home. But at the same time, there are things, like I said, that I'm going to highlight that, bring a little bit of light. The next thing I want to talk about is manpower. Manpower is the resources. They are doctors. There, they don't have, they are so short of doctors that one doctor can be taking care of the whole town. They don't have access. I remember recently somebody said their family went to the hospital. It was a nurse that was providing the diagnosis and treating the patient for a couple of days before even a doctor could come and see them. Nothing wrong about the doctors, is because they are short of doctors. So if you don't have a doctor, who's going to diagnose you, who is going to treat you? Payment of all those, payment of medications, people don't have it. People don't have money to buy. They do, a lot of polypharmacy goes on in Cameroon. You get up, you're sick, because you don't have, first of all, you don't have the money to go to the hospital. You go to a pharmacy in the market where they sell food. A guy from Nigeria brings things, you don't know what they are selling, you don't know if it's whatever they have mixed. You tell them, I have a headache, I have this. He said, okay. He doesn't know your history, he doesn't know your allergies, he doesn't know nothing. What other medications you are taking, he doesn't know. He gives you, say, take this one, and you take it, you go. So it's just sad what happens back at home. But at the same time, do I have a minute to talk about the good things now?
Yes, so
after everything that happens, what I want to highlight is that at the same time, even though we have all those things, a lot of us here in the US, we are doing a lot to help our family back at home, a lot. Just for example, that incentive spirometer issue, we had to go to our family, just our family members, we put our resources together, We bought a lot from Amazon and we shipped it back at home. That's just an individual family. Groups like CAMCOSA, groups there are 250 tribes, like they said. A lot of them are represented here in the US, and they form little groups like us, CAMCOSA. We do a lot back at home to help people. When, for example, my husband, he comes from a village. All the village people, they sat together, they went home, they built a healthcare facility. Back from here, they have people there on payroll. Every month they pay them to make sure that those people there, they take care of the little healthcare, because if you're waiting for the government to send people to care for those facilities, they will not do it. So that is what we are doing here back at home. We have a lot of us here. We have healthcare facilities back at home, little clinics, pharmacy. One of our brothers here in CAMCOSA, he's not here today. He has a clinic back at home. He has a pharmacy. He has a dental office. You know, they do delivery there. That is his own little contribution that he's doing, you know, to help people back at home. So a lot of us are doing a lot of things back at home to help ameliorate the situation.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Tala. One last thing. Can you tell us about traditional medicine? We cannot talk about healthcare without talking about traditional medicine.
So that's true, yeah. And yes, and thank you for mentioning that, because one of the things I wanted to say was one of the problems we have back at home is about traditional medicine. A lot of people back at home, not only because they don't have access, it's because they believe in our traditional medicine. When they get sick, that's where they go first. They go there to get care, and by the time they go to see the real, you know, the white doctors,
right,
it's already too late. That, you know, it's too advanced for them to be cared for. Traditional medicine back at home is a huge thing, but at the same time, again, those people, they do not diagnose. They don't. If you go there, you say you have a headache, your leg hurts, they'll give you the same cream to put on your leg, they'll give you the same cream for the headache. So everything is the same. So every treatment for them is the same without any diagnosis. So now, a lot of us are here in the US, or not even in the US, are outside of the home. We take better care of our parents that are back at home. We make sure they go to the hospital. We make sure they get good care so that they can live longer. Hopefully we are making it.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ndibang Tah. Technology. Do we have cell phones in Cameroon? I don't know. All right. So I'm going to call on CEO Brian Chongwine. Brian, how does technology impact the connection between Cameroonians living in San Antonio and their homeland?
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll start by saying this. Cameroon, there's a saying that when you wash your hands clean, you can eat with your elders. If you look here on this table, I think I'm in the midst of 4 doctors. I'm the only one who does not have a doctorate degree yet, and this is inspiring to me. I want to appreciate the Council of World Affairs for making this possible. So, the question again, how does technology impact the connection between Cameroonians living in the US and those in our homeland? The main thing that I would like to highlight here is the fact that we here in San Antonio, we have been exposed to technology. We have been exposed to this advancement in the things we do in our daily lives. The kind of trainings we get in the US, you know, the kind of things you have, you can book an Uber with an app, you can just go online and you browse and everything. So with this exposure that we have here, we have learned and we are trying to replicate this same aspect, you know, back to what people in Cameroon. I'm going to use myself as an example. Back in Cameroon, I knew nothing about, you know, technology. You know, I came here as a carpenter, just graduated from high school. So when I got here, I saw the opportunities that we have in the US, and I decided to embark in a career in IT. You know, so with the knowledge I got, I decided to start replicating that knowledge, not just to the people in Cameroon. I started a company called Joint Solutions, where I've trained a lot of Cameroonians and African people, you know, within San Antonio and across the US, which with the technology that they have learned, you know, they are replicating the same technologies back home. that did not just end there. When I did this, the people that we work together, we decided to start training the Cameroonian people, not just at that level. We started looking at areas in which Cameroon is short of as far as technology is concerned. And one of the things that we notice is that they don't understand how applications of IT can be used to streamline business processes. We engage in partnering with universities in Cameroon to start teaching the university students, what they can do as far as IT is concerned. Start educating them on how role-based IT is very important. All of this is because we see the technology here and we try to replicate the same in Cameroon. Not just at that level of training, at the level of application development as well. We also notice that, come to think of it, if you need to rent an apartment here in the US, it's very easy. You go online, you search for it. But in Cameroon, you need to look for someone to start moving from door to door, city to city to get a home. So we are building an application which is called, Booking Cameroon Online, where we can list all these units, list everything that our people back home in Cameroon can benefit from that. Good enough, internet nowadays is, it's available everywhere. The Starlink internet, which is a very great initiative in Cameroon. Students are able to, study, they're able to go online and take classes. So technology is really helping us in San Antonio here to impact, the people, in Cameroon. Before coming here, my uncle used to work, at a credit union. At that time, I would accompany him to the credit union, and most of the things they were doing were just manual input of transactions. I got here, I did a class in database administration, So I called back home and I'm like, there's something I've seen that can help these credit unions in order to implement transparency, accountability, and all of that. They invited me, I went back there, and I educated them on how they can structure their systems and bring in some modernization when it comes to IT. And that has been helping a lot. So, Mr. Moderator, I think there is a lot that I can say about this, but with respect to time, I think might be questions will come up.
Yeah, sure. So, what do you think are some of the key technological advancements that are currently shaping Cameroon's development right now?
Okay, so everything I would like to point back to training, because these people in Cameroon, they have been trained, they are exposed with the knowledge that we are giving them from what we see here in the Western world. One of the key things you can talk about Cameroon now is digitalization. Now, they are able to perform online transactions using systems like mobile money. At first, you need to move along with cash from one spot to another, and that was risky. So, with internet service providers in Cameroon like MTN and Orange and Cartel, they have implemented now a mobile money system where people can easily transfer money. Right here, I can sit and I send money to my mom at home. So that is an area that's really impacted the people of Cameroon and is really fast growing. In the aspect of other applications like the banking sector, at first, you could not just sit here and access a bank account in Cameroon. With the education that we are seeing here and trying to educate them back home, there are built applications now for banks. You can sit here and you easily access a bank account in Cameroon. So that is a very key advancement. Things like Uber, at first we did not have applications like that, in Cameroon, but now there are small companies where they themselves, they build these applications to help Cameroon. Another key factor is online marketing. If you go online now, because of the internet that we have, a lot of Cameroonians back home, they have embarked on online marketing, where they are able to be promoters. They are able to promote other people's businesses. They are able to talk. They are able to promote their culture, and they get paid for that. So, but that is notwithstanding, Cameroon is still, I would say, a level one as far as technology is concerned. They have a lot of limitations, but with the knowledge that we are gaining from the Western world, not just myself, but I believe us all, outside of Cameroon, we want to implement this system. We want the people of Cameroon to also enjoy the beauty and the benefits that we all see here.
All right, thank you, CEO Brian Chambers. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about concerning Cameroon is going to be economy and trade, and we're going to call on Dr. Henry Ejimo. Dr. Ejimo, what are the main economic sectors driving growth in Cameroon currently?
All right, thank you all and good evening. I would like to thank the Council of World Affairs for giving us this opportunity to be here today. It's really a great opportunity. I didn't get chosen to talk about trade and economy by choice. My mom of blessed memory, she passed away 12 years ago. She used to be the chief cashier for like a state. So she used to be in charge of money for the state. So when I was 5 years old, still in elementary school, she used to take me to work after school. And I would like to appreciate, because I have one lady in this house that used to work with my mom for 40 years. She's here with us today. Mami Fonsa, can you please stand? Thank you. My mom gave me the ideas and showed me what is money. That is why I'm here to talk about economy and trade. I'll tell you, the economy and trade in Cameroon, it's based on, you guys could hear what Dr. Chris said about that. I'll just give you guys some perspective. The nominal GDP of Cameroon, that means the nominal GDP per capita, it ranges from $1,700 to $1,800. So that gives you a perspective of how much some folks make a year in Cameroon. I'll tell you, from an economy perspective and trade, majority of Cameroonians are farmers. We don't have, the government of Cameroon is the highest employer of Cameroon. So that simply means you can give you a perspective of how many people have a government job. If you have a government job, you're seen as a middle class. Majority of the people with education, they don't have any job. So what do they resort to? They resort to farming. The good thing about that, God bless Cameroon, is, you see, you can go to HEB and buy flowers. You have to buy the pots to plant those flowers and manure and stuff. In Cameroon, you don't need manure. When you throw a plant behind your house, 5 weeks from today, you will harvest that and you will find food. So majority of the parents, I'll tell you, majority of us here sitting today, our parents farmed and sold in the market. Prior to some of them having money, they used to do trade by barter. That simply means if you have oil, I might have rice, or if you have beans, I might have cocoyams. So that is how they fed your family. Majority of us seated here today, we are brought up and we went to school as a result of our parents doing that. A majority of our revenue comes from oil and gas, comes from cocoa, coffee, and there are also sectors like tourism and as I said, agriculture contributes 60% of our overall revenue in Cameroon. There is also means of construction. Like right now, you guys heard about our president. He's been there for over 40 years since I was born. I've known that before even I was born. I heard there was President Paul Biya. He's still there. So that simply tells you they're right now talking about infrastructure and construction, which is the government vision for 2035. The roads, again, we all know, without good roads, you can't really do any kind of economy and trade. So the people in the indigenous part of Cameroon, they are struggling to bring their crops and products to land. And some of these things are perishable goods. So if you hold them for 2 weeks or more, they get bad. Another means of revenue that we get from Cameroon is from tourism and culture. I'm sure you guys can see our culture is very, very rich. So we have tourists that come to Cameroon just to enjoy the culture and also to enjoy the food. We have good food. Those of you who were opportune to taste the food out there. I think with respect to that answers the first question.
Thank you, Dr. Henry Shejimo. So I know we're running out of time and our audience do have some questions. So just 1 minute on this. How do trade and business relationship between Cameroonians in San Antonio benefit both communities?
Folks, I want to say again, thank you San Antonio, thank you the United States. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of us saying that most of us today, we are working and impacting the people back home. because we have waited so long for the government to help in a little bit, but our government has not been that helpful. So a lot of us, we have all from CAMCOSA to Comigen to Unity Sisters, we run drives, we help the community, and we also send back resources to help especially the less privileged back home. Some of our families have met us here. We have people of all walks of life, and that has been really, really helpful. Your collaboration and also your support, even from an educational perspective, have been very tremendous. Because folks come here and study, some stay here, some go back home and create some sort of an impact. The real problem that we have in Cameroon, and that we will try our best to see how we can resolve, is made with respect to governance. We don't have that good governance. But I believe that with us seated here today, there is always a hope. And with that hope, I strongly believe that Cameroon will be better, and these resources that you see here, we will one day go home and change our Cameroon that we all love.
Thank you, Dr. Henry Ejumo. And definitely there is the adage that says, he who loses hope dies. So hope is alive. And again, to add to that, a lot of Cameroonians do create businesses back home where they employ others and help the economy as well. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for giving us this time. We're gonna take some few questions from the audience.
Hello, hi, I'll be walking around to pick the questions. We only have time for 2 questions, so if anyone is ready for any question cards, please raise your hand. Or anyone that has a question, okay, thank you.
Thank you, CAMCOSA. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of our panelists. My name is Sherry Dolashay with the City of San Antonio. My question really centers listening to each one of you from the diverse positions that you represent, and how in what you have in common is the way you work through the work that you do with communities back in Cameroon and how you're helping Cameroon. I couldn't help but wonder, in terms, I heard all of you talk about the 42 years of the rule of your president. So do you, as a community, do you experience in your diaspora any kind of, let's say, diversity in political opinions, or do you not get involved in politics at all? Do you come from different families or parts of the country? I'm very curious about how the dynamics of what is happening politically in Cameroon plays out, say, for instance, among our diaspora here.
Well, thank you for that great question. I would say a lot of diasporans try their best to shape the political landscape in Cameroon, but it's still a struggle. Right now, the diaspora is not allowed to vote, and so that fight goes on. Right now, the diaspora, if you can see, they participate in their own little way in protests when these leaders come around. You can see when they are attending like the United Nations, there are people outside advocating with placards for good governance, for the higher bodies to step in and help. They also send petitions and letters to some of these international organizations. But these things don't work as automatic, right? It takes steps and it takes some bureaucracy. So right now, we're also impacting those back home, communication, trying to give knowledge. But again, it boils down to electoral system, right? And power control. So it is really limited, but the diaspora is pushing in the little way they can to help, and with organizations that Dr. Chris and others advocating for these changes. Like we have said, there is no loss of hope. We are hoping that things will get better. But the diaspora is pushing in their own little way. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more time for another question. If anyone would like to raise their hand. Thank you.
Hi, my name is LaPana Chambers Lawson. I go by LJ for short. We just had, I was the president before San Antonio African American Community Archive and Museum. We just had our current president walk out. I wanted to keep her in here. But really quickly, I wanted to ask you a question about the diaspora. Thank you, Sherry. So in what ways can we reconnect with ourselves here in the States? Can we go back home, some genealogy projects? What do we have going on?
Okay, so first of all, I would say the diaspora starts with organizations like CAMCOSA. First of all, coming together under this umbrella, and with the current leadership taking CAMCOSA to the outside world, that is how we are going out there, getting to understand and know organizations that we can pass through. It's really not going to be a march like we can do the things, but we need organizations, right? We need institutions. And how do we reach those institutions? First of all, by organizing ourselves. Right now, I'm happy that with the current administration and the exposure of the Council of World Affairs, a better part of San Antonio knows that there is a Cameroonian community. And so if we knock some doors and say, hey, this is what we are facing, we understand that things can go far. So these are the little steps we are doing to get to be known and to get to channel our problems to the appropriate quarters. And through this relationship, we've gotten to know a lot of people. We went to the city council, we could channel our problems there. The movement is still going on. We are knocking a lot of doors, and with partner organizations like Council of World Affairs, the city council, other non-governmental institutions, we are actually getting out there and trying to get our voices heard. And thank you again. Definitely, CAMCOSA is going to reach out to you so we can exploit the opportunity to move these ideas forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And that was the presentation.
Let's hear it for our amazing moderator. I mean, you know, to have a moderator to look this cool, we're going to have you moderate other programs. Thank you to our esteemed panels. Appreciate you all. I know, yes, thank you. Appreciate it. You got a little glimpse of what I didn't know, so I appreciated the knowledge, and I know we need more time. We have a special performance coming to you to kind of close things out. If you have any questions, I know they're going to stick around to answer questions in their respective fields. I want to thank all of you for being here. This is, like I said, a unique program that we do that kind of ties in many different things, and what a great way to do it with the Cameroonian community. And to have Dr. Chris Fomunyo here, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming here. And we're going to take you up on having you back in San Antonio. So thank you, Dr. Chris. I think I'm going to have to move this back. So, and Jude is getting ready to, are we ready? We're going to have a couple of performances. And while they're queuing it up, check out the QR codes. The one up right now goes to the Facebook page for the Cameroonian, for CAMCOSA. And then there are other QR codes to get involved with the World Affairs Council, membership, gifts, and other things. Our next event is July the 15th with the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Texas, President Lori Logan. And we just got word that the moderator for that is not our friend Emmanuel, but it's former Speaker Joe Strauss. So check that out for July 15th. All right, I think we're going to see a parade of some traditional cultural wear that I've been looking forward to seeing. So, are we ready? All right.
CAMCOSA. CAMCOSA. All right, so what we're going to be witnessing right now. Oh, my name is Jude Ndome. I'm the Vice President of CAMCOSA. I love culture. I'm very traditional when I do my things. All right, so what we're going to be witnessing right now is a display. You are Africans, they identify. And one of the ways that Africans, especially Cameroonians, identify is how they dress. So just seeing how a Cameroonian dresses, you would know exactly what region he comes from. So that's what we're displaying right now. You will see different regions. They look a little bit, please pay attention, all right, pay attention. They look kind of similar, but they're different. As our panelists presented, Cameroon, there is at least 250 tribes in Cameroon. But then we are not representing tribes, we're representing regions. So there are 10 regions in Cameroon that makes up the country. So we're presenting 10 different dressing styles. And look at the fabric, the differences in the fabric and how it is tied. So we're going to be starting. We'll have a little music playing, and I believe I'm going to be able to speak over the music. So we're going to be starting with, all right, we're going to be starting with the Northwest region. And so we're going to be having Mr. and Mrs. Alain Zilla, who will be presenting the Northwest region. Please take pictures. So if you see somebody dressed like that, no one needs to tell you they are from the North region. Please put your hands together. Thank you, that's beautiful. And if you want to get yourself one, we have them on display. We have them on display right on my left on the table. You want to get your dress like that, you are very welcome. Look at the fabric. Look at the sewing style. You have for men, for women, and for family. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Alain Zilla. That's from the Northwest region of Cameroon, where they speak English language. Let's go this way. The next is going to be from the West region. And from the West region, we have our own brother, Freddie Kameni. That's particular from the West region. We want to remind you that he's a coach, a winning coach. They are the current champion winners of the national veteran tournaments of USA and Canada. He's the biggest soccer coach you can ever talk about. Thank you, Coach Freddie Kameni. He looks spiffy. That's how they greet from the West region. The next is going to be the Ngome kids from the Southwest region. Those are my children. That's how a typical Southwest lady puts it, with a head tie around their waist. That is typical of the Southwest region. Those are my beautiful kids and my sister. Turn around, Caitlin, spin around, Caitlin. Good job, thank you. That's great. Next, we have Mr. and Mrs. Ebele from the West, from Littoral. They call them the Sawas. These are the real Sawas from Littoral. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I love it. Let's show God. Beautiful. Exactly how the Littoral call them the Sawas. Next, we're going to be combining 3 regions because they are very, very identical in language, in dressing style. It's from the north, so it's North, Adamawa, and the extreme north. So I'm joining 3 regions in one. They are kind of very similar, very identical. They call this the aguadas. When you see them, you see money. When you smell them, you smell money. Please go and touch them and you'll be rich. Please make sure you touch them and you'll be rich. They smell money. They walk on money, they sleep on money. They talk only money. Money is all they do, money is all they make. You can sit up for yourself, please. Make sure you get yourself contaminated, you will get money. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Jonas Njifuta and Mr. Vincent de Paul. Now we have from the center region, we have Mr. and Mrs. Tioken, Adrian Tioken and Galin Tioken. That's from the center region. Thank you so much, beautiful people. Oh, I love Cameroon. Please put it together again for Cameroon. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's beautiful. And we go to the last region, the region where our 42-year-old president comes from. So, are you the president's son? So we are calling the South region. This is a region where President Paul Biya comes from. These are gentlemen, they're working like a president. Are you also going to stay 42 years in power? All right, this is from the South region. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, we have all these dresses in display. The table on my left has all of this in display. Please put your hands together again for CAMCOSA of Cameroon. Thank you, beautiful, beautiful. What a wonderful, rich culture. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Let's hold the music a little bit. All right, now we're going to crown the event. We saved the best for the last. Now it's going to be a cultural display of music by adults. Please, let's paparazzi. It's the moment, if your phone is in your pocket, pull it out. Because you will see a display of displays. So this is called the top dance. It's a very traditional dance from the northwest region of Cameroon. Cameroon is Africa in miniature. Cameroon is a cultural diversity. Please spoil yourself, take a trip to Cameroon. You will not want to come back. I had the privilege in my university, I'm a lecturer at St. Mary's University. I teach philosophy and theology. I was privileged to take some students out to Africa.
Like we've told people.
They didn't want to come back. I'm like, no, your parents want you to go back, you got to go back. So please take pictures and enjoy the variety of what Cameroon has prepared. If we are ready, the top dance, let's go. Is it all dance? Ready? We are ready when you are. Our hands are getting tired with the phones in the air. All right, here comes top dance. Thank you, beautiful. That's wonderful, wonderful. All right, one last one. The last exit song.
Let's hear it for Jude, our special guest MC. All right.
Thank you for your culture. Wow, this is beautiful. Wow. This is beautiful, wonderful representation. Thank you for the Alamo Colleges of Cameroon. Nous voulons vous dire merci, merci à vous tous qui êtes là. Vous avez bien entendu que le Cameroun est bilingue. Donc de temps en temps nous parlons aussi en français. Donc nous voulons vous dire merci, merci d'être là. Merci pour votre présence. Et nous vous invitons une fois de plus, le 9 août, nous aurons une soirée culturelle. J'aurais dit une jamboree très spéciale. Nous allons envoyer les coloniers, ou bien pour tous ceux qui veulent être avec nous, s'il vous plaît, restez, on va vous donner les contacts pour être avec nous. Para los que hablan español, muchísimas gracias, gracias por estar con nosotros, gracias por estar aquí. Nosotros que vienen de África, sabemos festejar. Estamos invitando a ustedes, si ustedes tienen tiempo para venir con nosotros, el 9 de agosto vamos a tener una junta cultural en la sala de Firefighters. Entonces, si ustedes están interesados, por favor pueden venir con nosotros. Gracias, 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 muchísimas gracias. Merci beaucoup and thank you so much. Thank you.